do you like to talk about when you're thinking about adoption?
Like to talk about my birth mom, and sometimes me and my mom like go over the story about like her getting me from the hospital. And
Yeah. Can you believe that you're related to her?
yeah, it's kind of hard because like I'm living with like parents that aren't the same color as me, but then I've got this whole other family.
Yeah. Around all your friends, do you look lighter or darker?
I'm actually like right in between because I have 3 best friends. One of them is black and 2 of them are white, so I'm actually right in between.
When I play with them, it seems to me that it doesn't really matter what color we are. We just play and have fun. And sometimes at school I get teased for being a different color than my mom, and yeah, sometimes I don't quite know what to say because I'm still like kind of shocked that they would say that.
Yeah, like there was this boy in my class and he's really annoying, and like he's always like, why are you a different color from your mom? I'm like, well, you need to know. Because, like, it's like, in my mind, that's just irrelevant. Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter if I'm a different color from my mom?
Ella, do you think there's ever a good reason why someone might ask, why you and your mom are different colors?
Because maybe their friend just wanting to get to know me better and trying to understand so that we can have, like, a good relationship so that, like, they know a bit about me.
And would that feel okay if someone genuinely wanted to know, were curious about your adoption? Would you feel like that's an okay thing to share with someone like that?
It depends on what kind of tone of voice. Like, last year, there was this boy in my class and he's like, why are you a different color than your mom? And that's not very nice to ask because I know he's not trying to get to know me better. And also one day, there's one of my friends, she asked me why over at a play date one day, and it was like a nice voice, and so me and my mom tried to we explained why, and our friendship grew.
So tone of voice and how they ask and their intentions between if they really want to be your friend or if they're just kind of causing trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that November is National Adoption Month, Ariana?
No, I did not.
What does that mean to you? Do you think that it should be a month recognized for all people who are adopted? Or does that sound kind of weird?
Well, I think that it's kind of fun to have a National Adoption Month because there's not a National Non-Adopted Month, so it's special, it's fun, yay.
It is kind of funny because it kind of makes us feel like we're different.
Well, we are different, just not in a bad way, because nobody's different in a bad way. That's literally impossible.
I thought that it's kind of fun to have a month and be the special ones, yay, I'm adopted, but also it's there are sad parts to being adopted, and they only talk about the fun things, and it's kind of sad because you don't really get to talk about your friends, and they're yay, you're adopted too.
What are the sad parts that you wish people would think about sometimes?
How I feel sometimes when I get teased or bothered at school about it, and sometimes after that happens and I start thinking about my birth mom and stuff about that.
What do you think about when you think about your birth mom? That makes you...
I imagine her as a really strong woman, and that she's really nice. I do have a couple of pictures of her in my room. Sometimes when I'm going to bed, I look at them.
Yeah. She's probably not too different than you. She probably gets sad sometimes, gets mad sometimes. Maybe she gets teased for different things.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think about my birth mom because I actually see her sometimes, and I see my siblings too. So I've never ever seen my birth dad though. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. But I have seen my birth mom, and she is a very nice person. And I think I'm going to be tall when I grow up because she is tall.
And sometimes you see your birth siblings too?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Well, they're technically half siblings since we each have a different dad. So, yeah.
And is it fun seeing them, or do you get nervous? How does that feel?
It's really fun seeing them because my little sister Sophia, she looks a lot like me, just younger.
Last year I got the Thanksgiving card from her, and it said every day I'm thinking about you.
Wow.
Some pictures about herself. Of herself, sorry.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Do you think about her every single day?
Not every single day, but sometimes when stuff that brings up being a different color or being adopted, stuff like, and things like that come up at school, like that's when I kind of start thinking about it a bit more.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, it's like I'm a normal person, like I carry on with my life, but I still know that I'm adopted, but when I look at my mom and all my friends, it doesn't really matter. It's like, they're my friends, they're my family.
I feel the same way.
Do you have like a solution for what to do when somebody bullies you at school? Because if you don't, I have a really good solution that works really well for you.
I stand up for myself, but sometimes it doesn't work. So what's your solution?
My solution is to just like stand there and be like, and what else? That's very interesting, but I don't have the time for that right now. And just like keep your cool and be like, that sounds very interesting. I would love to talk with you about this later, but right now I do not have time for this. So if we can just come back to this conversation a little bit later, we will have this conversation again, and I will talk to you then.
Okay, I like that solution.
It actually works really well.
Other than the solution you just said, like, what if they keep on and on at you about, like, talking about it now? What should you do?
Well, like, if they just keep going, then A, they are a very smart bully, or B, at that rate, if they just keep going, then you should probably tell a teacher. But, like, first try to be like, and, or, like, try to, like, deflect it. But, like, if it doesn't work, and they're just being a really smart bully, then just tell a teacher.
When you were little and you went to school, did anyone tease you about being brown or a different color than your parents?
Yeah, I remember people asking a lot of questions like, where's your real mom? You know, or why don't you look like her?
That happened to me last year. It's like, where's your real mom? I'm like, I live with my real mom. She's my mom.
That's perfect.
She's not a ghost.
Yeah,
I
can't
put my hands through her.
That's so great. Another thing for both of you is to know that people are asking you lots of questions that you don't have to answer all the time. You know, if you feel uncomfortable, it is okay to say, you know, I don't feel comfortable answering your question, you know, and then go play on the playground or go do your next thing. That's very okay. And even with someone like me, someone older, you can also say, I don't feel like I want to answer that right now. And that's totally okay.
And I also have another question. Last year again, this is the same day when the boy asked me about my birth mom and kept on and on at me. And then eventually he said like, where's your birth dad? Like, isn't that your real mom? And do you know anything about your birth dad? I said, no, I don't know anything about my birth dad, and I live with my real mom. And he's like making fun of me for not knowing anything about my birth mom. So like, what should I do? Birth dad, sorry.
That's absurd. That's literally absurd. That has never happened to me.
Yeah. That's really tough, Ella, but I think not just for people who are adopted, but for other people, there are people in their family that they don't know things about either. Yeah, being adopted kind of makes people think they can ask a lot of questions, but it's really not that different than any of your other classmates' lives who have
Yeah.
lots of things going on in their lives too, but they don't have to share it. But for some reason, being a different color makes people think they can ask these things. It's good to learn about how to handle the questions though, because people still ask me, even though I am an adult. They still want to know why my mom looks like she does and why we don't look the same, and so it doesn't end. But you both seem like you handle it really well.